Have you ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians built those incredible pyramids and temples? It wasn't just about manpower. It was about a highly organized society that lasted for thousands of years. Let's dive into the social structure of ancient Egypt, and it's a lot like a pyramid itself. At the very top, reigning supreme, was the pharaoh. The pharaoh wasn't just a king. He was considered a living god on earth, the intermediary between the gods and the people. He owned all the land, made the laws, collected taxes, and led the army. The pharaoh's power was absolute, and his main job was to maintain Ma'at, which means order, truth, and justice in the universe. Everything revolved around him. Right below the pharaoh were the government officials, the nobles, and the priests. Think of them as the top-tier management. The most powerful official was the vizier, essentially the pharaoh's right-hand man. He was the chief overseer of the country, acting as the head judge and supervisor of all major government projects, like building the pyramids. Then you had the nobles who governed the different regions of Egypt, called nomes, and let's not forget the priests and priestesses. They were incredibly powerful because they were in charge of the temples and religious ceremonies, which were central to Egyptian life. They managed the vast temple estates and were seen as the direct servants of the gods. Next on the social ladder were the scribes and soldiers. Scribes were the intellectuals and administrators of Egypt. They were highly respected because very few people could read and write the complex hieroglyphic script. They recorded laws, calculated taxes, wrote letters, and kept track of food supplies. Becoming a scribe was one of the few ways a person from a lower class could move up in society. Soldiers were also crucial. They defended Egypt from foreign invaders, and also quelled any internal uprisings. A successful military career could bring wealth, land, and social prestige. Further down the pyramid, we find the middle class, which included skilled craftsmen, artisans, and merchants. These were the talented people who built and decorated the tombs, temples, and palaces. We're talking about carpenters, jewelers, painters, sculptors, and potters. While they weren't as wealthy as the nobles, they lived a more comfortable life than the laborers at the bottom. Merchants also played a role, trading goods like grain, gold, and papyrus up and down the Nile, and even with neighboring lands. At the very bottom of the pyramid, forming its vast base, were the farmers and unskilled laborers. This group made up the vast majority of the Egyptian population, probably more than 80%. Farmers worked the land along the Nile, which technically belonged to the pharaoh. They paid a large portion of their harvest as taxes. During the inundation season, when the Nile flooded the fields, many farmers were drafted to work on the pharaoh's massive construction projects. Unskilled laborers did the hard, backbreaking work of quarrying stone and building monuments. Their lives were tough and revolved around hard physical labor. So, from the divine pharaoh at the peak to the hard-working farmers at the base, every person in ancient Egypt had a specific role to play. This rigid social structure provided the stability and organization needed to create one of the most enduring and fascinating civilizations in history. It was this incredible order that allowed them to achieve the impossible. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more journeys into the past. See you next time.